Reacher's potential role in Neagley spinoff gets intriguing response from Alan Ritchson after initial guest star reports. With the mainline show back with both stars in tow, Maria Sten and Alan Ritchson are addressing the chances of the latter's character appearing in the Reacher spinoff, Neagley. Development on the spinoff to the lead child-based show was first announced in late 2024 with mainline showrunner Nick Santora and Nicholas Wooten co-creating and co-showrunning the title, while Sten would lead as Neagley embarks on an investigation into the death of an old friend. While the rest of the Neagley cast includes various newcomers for the show's universe, including Grayston Holt, Ritchson's involvement has not yet been confirmed. In honor of the show's return, Forbes spoke with Maria Sten and Alan Ritchson to discuss Reacher Season 3. The conversation eventually turned to Neagley, and when they were asked about the chances of Ritchson's Jack Reacher appearing in the upcoming spin-off show, the duo were very coy about the possibility of the mainline show's hero popping up, with the former stating they could neither confirm nor deny such rumors, while the latter said it would make sense. Check out what Sten and Ritchson said below. Alan Ritchson: that would make sense, but we cannot confirm that it would make sense. It just makes sense in a world of hypotheticals. Maria Sten: yes, we can neither confirm nor deny such rumors. Like if he popped in for a couple of episodes. Ritchson and Sten playing things closer to the chest about Reacher appearing in the Neagley show comes as an interesting change from the early reports of the show's development, in which it was stated that Ritchson's character would appear in multiple episodes in a guest star role. Considering the spin-off marks the biggest diversion from child source material yet, and that no such spin-off book exists, it would make sense for those involved to keep things as under wraps as possible to keep the audience in suspense. That being said, it does seem unlikely that Neagley wouldn't feature Ritchson in some kind of capacity. Sten's character has been one of the closest allies to Reacher across all 3 seasons, even as he's changed locations and the show's adapted books in which she's not involved in their plots the way Reacher shows her to be. Given the early logline for the show also indicates that it will follow Neagley as she looks to utilize the lessons learned from Ritchson's protagonist for her new case, the spin-off could limit his appearance to inspiration-driven conversations between the two. Another potential reason for Ritchson to appear in Neagley would be to set up the already confirmed Reacher Season 4. Fellow Prime Video franchise, The Boys, similarly utilized its first major spin-off in Gen V to not only tell a standalone story apart from the mainline show, but also lay out plot threads that would affect the future of its entire universe, namely the creation of the soup-killing virus. Though both Reacher's novels and show are generally standalone stories, the few changes made for the show would subsequently explain utilizing the spin-off for future setups. As great as their relationship is to watch in the mainline show, I do think it's probably for the best that Ritchson's Reacher doesn't have too big of a role in Neagley. The goal of a spin-off is to allow someone else the chance to shine in the spotlight other than the base character, and considering how much backstory there is to explore for Sten's character, it would be the better call for the show to keep the focus on her. That said, it doesn't mean there isn't room for Reacher to appear, as long as he's used in a fitting fashion. The Reacher universe might be expanding, and Alan Ritchson is at the center of the conversation once again. After early reports suggested that Ritchson's Jack Reacher could make a guest appearance in a potential Neagley spin-off, the actor has finally weighed in, and his comments have sparked fresh intrigue among fans of both the Prime Video series and Lee Child's long-running novels. In an interview during a recent promotional event for Reacher Season 3, Ritchson was asked about the rumored spin-off centered on Francis Neagley, the enigmatic XMP and Reacher's occasional ally, played memorably by Maria Sten. His response was characteristically coy, but laced with enough enthusiasm to ignite speculation. "I love working with Maria, and I love who Neagley is in this world," Ritchson said, flashing the kind of knowing smile that Reacher fans have come to associate with imminent action or trouble. If the opportunity arose to step into her show, even briefly, I think Reacher would probably find it hard to say no. They have unfinished business, always have. It's not a definitive confirmation, but it's far from a denial. And for readers of Lee Child's books, the relationship between Jack Reacher and Francis Neagley has always been more than just another buddy cop dynamic. Neagley, who first appeared in Without Fail and has recurred sporadically since, is one of the very few people Reacher trusts implicitly. Their bond, forged in the military police, tempered by mutual respect and underpinned by a sharp contrast in personalities, is one of the franchise's most compelling undercurrents. For the Prime Video series, Sten's portrayal of Neagley in both seasons has garnered praise for its layered balance of cool precision and unspoken vulnerability. A Neagley-focused spinoff has been a frequent subject of fan discussions, and recent reports suggest that Amazon MGM Studios is seriously exploring the idea as it looks to expand its roster of original action thrillers. According to sources close to the studio, early drafts of the spinoff's concept center around Neagley's post-military security consultancy work, an aspect lightly touched on in Season 2 of Reacher. The show would follow her investigations into high-stakes corporate conspiracies and international espionage, territory that aligns with the more procedural aspects of Lee Child's later novels. With the right mix of cerebral intrigue and grounded action, a Neagley series could carve out its own distinct identity while remaining tethered to the Reacherverse. The potential inclusion of Ritchson, even in a limited guest role, would not only provide connective tissue between the two shows, but also deepen the lore around their shared history. Jack and Francis go way back, Ritchson said in the same interview. There's a shorthand between them, an unspoken code that I think a lot of people are drawn to. I'd be curious to explore how that plays out when she's the one calling the shots. Fans of the books know that dynamic well. Unlike many of Reacher's allies, Neagley is one of the rare few who can match his competence, and occasionally his stubbornness. Their relationship is rooted in deep mutual admiration, but always stops just short of romance, a decision Lee Child has often described as deliberate, underscoring their platonic but intense connection. That layered chemistry translated seamlessly to screen, with Sten and Ritchson's interactions often stealing scenes with minimal dialogue and sharp glances. Ritchson's growing clout as an action star also adds weight to his potential appearance in a spinoff. With his rising profile, bolstered not just by Reacher but by projects like Fast X and the upcoming Play Dirty, any crossover appearance he makes is likely to boost audience interest. Yet the actor made it clear that for him, it's not about screen time for screen time's sake. What makes their relationship interesting is that it's rare and selective. Reacher isn't the guy who just drops in to check up on old friends. If he shows up, it means something serious is going down, Ritchson explained. That's what would make it worthwhile both for me and for fans. The creative team behind Reacher appears to share that sentiment. Showrunner Nick Santora, who has previously expressed admiration for Neagley's character, hinted last year that there were ongoing conversations about spin-off possibilities, but emphasized that any new project would have to stand on its own legs rather than rely on constant cameos. Even so, Ritchson's willingness to stay involved, selectively and meaningfully, could be the anchor that lends the Neagley show a strong launch pad. For now, Prime Video remains tight-lipped about the spin-off's official greenlight status. However, with Reacher Season 3 into production and buzz around the franchise steadily building,